Loud. Welcome to Cleaning Business Life. This is myself and my wonderful co-host, Miss Kimberly Gonzalez. Kimberly, take it away.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you guys are listening. Thank you for joining Shannon and I today. And today we're going to be talking about the power of networking, building relationships for business success. This is one of my favorite things to talk about. I don't know about you, Shannon, but I love talking about this stuff. And I love being creative when I do meet people because I want to have that lasting impression. And I'm sure you guys want to
have my mic ready. Keep talking.
But no, so today we're going to explore the key elements that help your cleaning business to be a success. Today we're going to dive into a topic that is often mentioned but not always fully understood. And I know that we always don't fully understand networking. So we're going to be discussing why networking is so crucial, you guys, and why running a business and building these relationships is the cornerstone for long-term success. So let's get started.
Right. And if I had a pick, and this becomes because I'm more seasoned at it, I know it can take a lot out of a lot of people to do, like, virtual networking was really popular during COVID. I prefer the old school method of face-to-face contact, in-person networking. You can learn so much more and be granted more opportunity if you just are there and present. There's a marketing event tonight for just contractors, and I think I'll probably be one of two females there, which will be interesting. But yes, I really enjoy the in-person marketing. What about you, Kim?
I love it. I definitely can see a difference between in-person networking versus just online.
Mhm.
You can have an online presence, which is good because I feel like that's what you have, when you talk to other people, but in person is building those relationships and friendships and that connection. And when you're able to go to these things, sometimes they have, morning ones for coffee. I've seen some that start at 7 in the morning. I've seen some that start at 8 in the morning, some at 10. I've seen some at night. So there's a world of possibilities of times to go. So like if you have kids in school and you need to go to the morning ones, go to the morning ones. If you've got like set that time aside, if you can go in the evening, and I know for me, my evenings are nuts. So
Mhm.
it's really hard for me to go to the evening ones, which there are a lot of the evening ones.
Mhm.
I definitely say in-person networking is probably the best way to build those relationships. Like I strongly feel that. And I know people can get butterflies in their stomach when they go, to network in person.
I don't know. I really do enjoy it more so than the other types of networking. And there are a lot more things to do. In the old days, I know I always sound like I'm dating myself, but way back when you had to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce, which I still recommend that you join, because there are networking possibilities there. But there's like meetup, and then there's, if you're lucky enough, like in my community, San Martin, he holds a lot of networking events that are free. All you have to do is show up. There's no cost to actually do any of the networking events, which makes it really nice. And time is of the essence. So if you can tell if it's going to be a mostly adult or more retired networking event if they meet up at like 6 a.m. If you have school kids, there's no way physically possible that you're going to be able to get two kids off to school without bickering happening at a 6 a.m. meeting. Maybe your kids are older and they can drive themselves, and still you're always in the back of the mind while you're at the meeting, because I've had this happen. I'm raising two sets of kids. My oldest is going to be, I believe, 30 this year. My youngest is 8. So you're always in the back of your mind going, did they make it to school? Did they drive okay? Did they get their lunch? And you're not really paying attention to the meeting because you're like focused on whether they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So if that is not for you, don't pick that type of meeting. And in dinner times can be crazy. Like if you have a networking event at 8 o'clock at night, it's not, I'm not going.
I know, and a lot of our ribbon cuttings and I'm part of the Loveland Chamber,
Mhm.
and I'll be honest with you, that's something I need to work on, is I need to start going to more of the networking events. I paid for my membership to be
Right,
that, but a lot of the times that they do the ribbon cuttings are at 4:30. And
right.
it's like once 3 o'clock hits, it is like a game, like a race game for me to get everything done. Like I'm getting all my household chores done. I'm trying to get dinner going because my husband has to be in bed by 7 o'clock at night. So I've got to have dinner done by like 5:30. So
Tim's
for me,
husband works the late shift or the
yeah,
really early shift,
he works
depending on how you
early.
look at
He was
it.
he was out the door at 2:30 this morning, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's no way." In the morning, 2:30 AM. So for me, it's hard, and I know that I need to get better at going to the chamber because I paid for it. But there's different types, like what Shannon was saying. So networking is like not just exchanging business cards anymore. Like I've seen a lot where they just exchange business cards. You want to really try to find something that you feel comfortable. And it's kind of like dating. Wouldn't you agree,
Right.
Shannon? Like
It is,
networking versus
it's
dating.
an interesting form of dating. So it's not you're not building a relationship to be intimate with somebody and they can be your life partner. You're building a relationship with someone who possibly could lead you into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it is worth to
Better
cultivate.
learning experiences. I mean,
Mhm.
you can walk away with like opportunities just to like learn from that person.
Right. So I would definitely check it out and see if it's a thing for you. I know that we have become a society where we don't want to network. Everyone wants to just communicate via phone. And I really still prefer the good old fashioned communication face to face.
Mhm.
Um, and so much is lost in the translation of a text message. Like some people don't know, there's one person inside the group who is a little older, and she always sends me a text message in all caps, but she doesn't know that all caps is shouting, right? So, so I just it's not that's just she doesn't her button is stuck and she refuses to buy a new phone. But I only knew that because I asked.
Or for us that are like in our age and we're having to learn all the younger lingos in the 20 of like, like I know what LOL means, obviously, but like
Right.
all these new things. And it's like, I've had to ask my son, I'm like, I'm getting my old lady card punched right now, Shannon. I have to ask my son and be like, Calvin, what does this mean? I don't know what this means. What are all these abbreviations for? You
It's
know,
you can always cheat and look on Google too. Sometimes I have to because I'm like, what does that mean? And they don't hand out new, indexes on what this word means and that word means and all that other stuff. But yeah, networking is important. I've landed some pretty big jobs just by being president at a chamber event. They happen to be looking for a cleaner. And we all know that cleaning is immediate. So when they finally have made the decision, and it's usually at the last minute because I've had 3 of those calls this week, it's only Wednesday. I need to have a cleaning. I have to have it done by Friday. And oh, by the way, we're doing photographs. Can you get it done by Friday morning? And you're like, let me look at my schedule. No, nope, I've got 75 houses on the schedule. I know I'm really sorry. I don't have room for you. Oh, right. But they do. When cleaning is it's a sense of need. So there is urgency. So if your phone is ringing, please pick it up. And I just happened to go to a couple chamber events. They're like, I remember you. You're that cleaning lady. And one of them was a significant amount of money. I think 2 of them were. And others have just been random. My mom needs help. I don't live up here full time. Would your company come in and, give her a once over, blah, blah, blah. We had one last month, which required some discretionary language to be communicated to me. We couldn't use the dirt code because it was beyond the dirt code. It was like a 27. And and they lived in the next town over down the hill over by Sedona. And you just get to, mom and dad shouldn't be living on their own if they cannot manage something. And another way to help, this could be a selling pitch to you as well, because I have a huge senior community where I live, is that you're helping keep your mom and dad their independence. You're helping them, right? By coming in once a month, but it just becomes an expense thing. And not everyone can afford to have the cleaning, but but there's been many times in my community, and I was talking to someone about this yesterday or the day before. When you're part of Cleaning for a Reason, or this Servant's Heart, or I can't remember what the third one is. There's 3 huge non-for-profits that are offering free cleanings right now. We have done our own. It's called Allen's Day, and we do them once a year, every year, so everyone volunteers. But there's been many times where we've walked in and they didn't qualify because they didn't have cancer for a free cleaning, but we walked in and I'm like, oh my God, you can't live this way. And we've given them a free cleaning because not because I wanted to be super duper generous, but because this person was living in dire straits and should not be doing so in the great country of the United States of America. It just shouldn't happen here.
So
So
when Mark had cancer, we like applied for cleaning for a reason because I needed help. I was like so exhausted. And do you know that I could not find any cleaning companies that would come in my area?
right, it's not in every area. And
No.
and the protocol is that they get 2 free cleanings, and then after that, if they need to sign up, you can usually I worked them in with a discounted, depending on their situation. Um, but yeah, some areas have them, some areas don't. I was the only cleaning company in my area that serviced here, and we did them up in Flag. No other cleaning company did Cleaning for a Reason. And there is a small subscription fee. I think since ISSA has taken over, I don't remember how much the subscription fee is now, but it used to be, I believe it was $20 a month. And that's when Debbie actually still owned it and ran it before I believe she gifted it over to ISSA, or they worked out some sort of business deal, I'm sure. Um, so those are networking possibilities too. You can partner with a charity. It's good. It's a win-win on each side. You decide how much you can afford to do for cleaning. And then if you get, like, say, for example, you have 6 Cleaning for a Reason calls. I'm using them as an example because it's easy. Um, maybe you can only afford to do 2 free cleanings that month. So the other ones would be scheduled the next month. Budget for them. Don't take the hit and get all 6 Cleaning for a Reason cleanings, because they're dire. When these poor people, when they have cancer and it's imminent and you don't know if they're going to go, or they're trying to get all their stuff together, that's when everyone comes to visit you. And the last thing you want someone to do is worry about if their house is clean or not, right? Because they're all coming to say goodbye. They don't know if you're going to make it. And all you can think of is, oh my God, my house is filthy.
That's how I felt when we had like people trying to come over. I was like, I didn't have time to clean. And I was embarrassed, like, and it was frustrating. And I still cleaned and I probably got like 3 hours of sleep a day. Like it was nuts.
It was a very exhaustive time for poor Kimberly, but you guys both rallied and came through it with
We're done. We just got to check.
gold stars, and it's a wonderful thing. But yes,
So
make sure that you're partnering with somebody that you believe in, that whatever cause you partner with, make sure it comes from your heart.
So we talked about the benefits of networking. We talked about access to the opportunities. So we talked about how networking is opening doors for the new opportunities,
Mhm.
how you guys can meet clients, investors. There might even be somebody there that wants to invest in you guys. It's going to these networking events can be like a gold mine. And like the second one we talk about is like knowledge sharing. There's been a lot of times where I've gone to networking events, and I may not have sold stuff. I don't plan on selling things when I just go, but I've learned a lot. So I've listened, and listening can get you a long ways. And Shannon and I always talk about how much listening is so important, that it can separate you from a lot of other people just by listening. And I think we're so quick to jump in and talk, and you're already thinking about what you're gonna say, and it's like I'm guilty of it, and I
Me
think
too.
that's my ADHD brain part. But, I've learned from so many different people from going to networking events that I didn't go there just to get business. I went there to learn.
Oh,
So,
no, I went to the networking events for the free snacks and beverages.
you guys had food. Well, we do for the ribbon cuttings, but I don't ever get to go to those.
You're like, yeah, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten all day. I'm kidding. Sometimes I would snack, but if you're going to a networking event, it really is a serious adventure and you should be there not just eating and drinking, you should be networking.
Up in your face. Pop.
There's nothing worse than talking to someone and you have crumbs on your face and no one says anything.
Stuff in your teeth, and
Or
you're
nothing
all,
in your teeth.
hey.
So just a little human interaction there. And then having a support system, I think collaboration is bigger than it's ever been. Um, I try to reach out with people in my own network. I, I I talk to a lot of people every single week, probably over 100. It's a lot of phone calls, a lot of 5-minute conversations here, a lot of 15-minute conversations there. Sometimes it's a little longer. And it really is a knowledge-based thing. Trying to people, I have randomly had a little old lady who is 82 call me and she wanted to know how to get a Coca-Cola stain out of her carpet. And no
Aw.
one, and I felt so bad. She's like, I called 4 other carpet cleaning companies and no one would give me the time of day. Can you tell me? I go, I'm not an expert, but this is what I would do. And she called me back. She goes, it worked.
Yeah.
So it just depends on where you are at in your business. Everybody has an opportunity to get you something more. Yeah, having a support system. And I'm sure I would love to have her give me a 5-star review, but she was pretty funny. She goes, I am 82. I don't know how to use the internet, so I'm really sorry. I'm like, it's all in good spirits, man.
Okay. Yeah, I go to a networking, like meeting, I guess you could say, the second Tuesday of every month. And I went there yesterday and I was like, I love it because we get together. It's a group of ladies and a lot of us have businesses. Some don't. Some just go there because they want to like get out of the house. They're moms. And I love it because, each time somebody else runs the meeting. So we pre-pick people who are going to run the meeting. And then we have a topic. So yesterday, the topic was on faith, like faith in us, our sister, like us and stuff. And I really needed that yesterday. I was like in my networking meeting and I was just struggling yesterday hard, like hardcore struggling. And that was one of the things that they had talked about. And I love that I have built up over the last 2 years, I have built up relationships with these ladies and I've created friendships. And a lot of them do use my products, and I'm not going to lie, like some of them, it's taken them 2 years before they actually bought my products, but I was getting that trust. And so that's why it's so important to like not only have, going to the networking events, but you're building that support system of people who can check in on you and be friends and like, hey, how can I support your business? What can I do to come over? Like, do I need to start a meal train? Are you having surgery? So it's like not only networking, it's building that support system in the long run.
Definitely. Community is really big. So if you have a spot where you can attain any sort of a community or collaboration with others, do it. You guys have all heard me talk about having a messenger group in your own area where it's just local cleaners.
Yep.
I believe we have 30 people in our messenger group. It's totally free. I don't charge them for it. And it's just hey, a pat you on the back. Hey, I got this house. I can't take it. Would anyone be interested in it? Or you can sell it to them for a small finder's fee. Sometimes it's a direct referral because they're in a hurry and there's a lot of things going on. Hey, watch out for this person. They do these awful things to other people. Not too many of those types of situations, but it's just good to collaborate and to help cover. Maybe one of the smaller companies lands a really huge post-construction cleaning and they don't have enough crew and they have it coming up on Saturday. And maybe there's 3 other girls who are independents who are free on Saturday. So it works out great. Um, My only stickler is if you obligate yourself to another cleaning business owner, follow through with what you agree to, because people are depending on you to follow through because we're all professionals, right? So make sure that that happens as well.
I know that fourth one that we want to talk about is increased visibility. So being active in your industry's network helps increase your guys' visibility. If you guys are out there, I have a friend and she runs a magazine and she is like everywhere you see where she's at. But not only is she branding, but she's getting her name out there. So that can lead to speaking opportunities. It can lead to media coverage. It just kind of recognizes you as a leader in your particular field. So like you're the leader of all things like cleaning. Like in my networking group that I go to, I'm known as like the cleaning guru. So everybody knows, or anything natural, they come to me like, hey. So like kind of like Shannon was saying, that old lady, came to her and asked her for some advice. I get them asking me all the time, hey, how do you take this off? Or how do I clean this naturally? And it's because they see me and they tell me all the time, like, we see you everywhere. Like, where are you? How are you even doing that? So, and I know Shannon, I see you everywhere, and everybody can attest to that. I see you everywhere in all the different groups. So you're kind of networking in
Mhm.
all these different groups and you're everywhere. So you have that visibility that you're putting out there for all these groups and you're reaching out. And this stuff takes time because Shannon's been
Yes.
working on this for, what is it, 3 years, 4 years? You've been working on this,
Four,
building
four
meetups?
years,
So
almost five.
4 years, almost five, that Shannon's been working on this. This is something that she just didn't pop up overnight and
I
just
wish it had been that easy.
right.
There
No.
was a lot of sweat equity that went into it, and I still spend a lot of sweat equity in a lot of people's groups, and it's because I genuinely want to see you guys succeed. I know some of the big boys who are actually girls don't spend time in any other groups. You never see them give that community. I consider this community service of giving advice for free, because it really does help you guys grow as a business, and then at some point you might want to take a course or something. um so it makes it really nice. So make sure that you are having increased visibility, and it isn't there is, when you're building a platform like mine, there is a lot to the back end of it. There is stuff I had to learn that I never anticipating having to learn. Like when you put your course in, you have to make sure that the drip schedule follows the right way, and then you have automation, and then if you don't put the price the right way, then it won't pick up the price and someone will get something for free, or the SEO for each page that you have. I mean,
And
there's
tags
just
and
so much.
there's a lot that goes into it.
Oh yeah, each course takes a lot. I know. I wish I've seen little micro mini commercials on Facebook. I generated 180 videos today. I'm like, yeah, well, what'd you do with them? And did they make you any money?
Yeah, exactly. Something that Shannon and I mentioned before to you guys is that networking is just not about what you can get, but what you can offer. How can you offer something? And like what Shannon does is she goes to these groups and she's offering, advice because she wants to build that relationship up with you, but she's trying to help. Same thing when we go on the groups and we want Shannon and I just want to help you guys. Like that is our love and our gift. So you can utilize that in your networking groups by sharing your knowledge and teaching these people about like little cleaning hacks and stuff when you go to these networking groups. And they're going to be listening in the back. They may not come and jump on your service and be like, hey, we're going to hire you for cleaning, but they may start like listening and listening. And then next thing you know, they're going to be calling you up. So it takes time. Um, but having that reputation of just having that reputation of being able to give that little bit of knowledge, kind of like what Shannon does, is valuable and it can attract opportunities.
Definitely. Yep. Creating visibility, branding. We talked a little bit about branding. We won't go into too much detail, but it is important to pick something that's simple and easily recognizable. I always give the example of Coca-Cola. You can go anywhere in the world and know that you're getting a Coca-Cola just simply by the red and the white. So, when you're starting to grow and expand, that is something that's talked about a lot in courses. And then building genuine relationships, it's reciprocity. If you don't know what reciprocity is, it's you give before you get. That's the very short version of
Yeah.
what reciprocity is. So make sure that you are giving before you're getting. We have become, and I know we kind of softly touch about it every time, the entitlement and the narcissistic attitude from a lot of people. And you're just shocked. It's just like, my mama didn't teach me that way. And you just go, well, what is going on with this person that they have to act this way? And we can go ahead and, psychoanalyze whatever. I don't think it's going to fix what needs to happen, but building genuine relationships with people who want to genuinely see you succeed.
Yeah.
Circle of influence. Your circle of influence is more important than you know. And I see a lot of posts where, um, my family doesn't support what I do. Poor me, poor me, poor me, poor me, poor me. I'm a single mom. Poor me, poor me, poor me. You know what? Your circle of influence is important. Your
Victim.
family is
I'm the
not
victim.
going to directly buy from you until you make it, because they're all on the fence going, she's crazy.
So that confidence, Shannon and I talk about having that confidence, going in
Right.
with confidence, and
So make sure.
yeah, be authentic.
Yes, being authentic and be you. We all have our own little quirks about this or that, or I know someone really well. I've gotten to know her over the last couple of years, and she wears a headband from the 90s. And she totally loves wearing the headband, and that is her thing. That's what you know her by, is her headband. Always. No, I've never seen her without a headband. That is her thing, that is her branding. And
Love it.
she's super duper nice, and I absolutely love her. But she wears a headband all of the time.
So, Amy, my friend that comes and helps me, she wears that little 80s band or 90s band that goes around your neck.
Oh, yeah?
And then Calvin's girlfriend wears it too. So I'm like, I like how it's kind of like
Full circle.
regenerated. But yeah, that's her thing. She wears it all the time. Like she wears a headband and it's like the authentic. Okay, so Shannon, I have to ask.
Mhm.
So then what do you feel like my authenticity? Like, what do you think my thing is?
Chickens.
Chickens. I'm known for my chickens.
I saw something that I screenshotted. I'll send it to you later, but it was, let me see if I still
Was it
have it on my
was it
phone.
the chicken? Was it the egg yolk blanket?
No, I saw the egg yolk blanket, but there was something even more interesting. It was a tank top, and it was yellow, and it says fluent in foul language, and it's a picture of chickens. It's just like, yep, Kim is really into chickens. She's not into collecting porcelain chickens. She has outside chickens. Well,
Yeah,
she has a couple
Shannon.
inside chickens too, but yes.
Yeah, I do have some porcelain ones, but we're not going to go into that. They were gifted to me by my great grandma.
Right. So they just
I
sit
gotta
there
keep those.
collecting dust. So yeah, being authentic, and that's your thing. Kim's got chickens. My friend has headbands. Her friend has the choker necklaces. When you get all leather necked like me, you won't have them. You'll be like, oh, that just
I'm like,
exacerbates
or the chicken neck. I'm starting to look at my chickens now.
the things. Trying to keep it PC. So building relationships, having that one thing that people know you for is really important. And if you don't know what your one thing is, one day someone will come up to you and go, I remember you, and they'll just exclaim whatever it is. Like, people have come up to me and they've like, oh my God, that laugh that you have every single time. And I don't know why. I just think it's funny when it says recording to the cloud. I still laugh every single time.
Hey,
It's
you're
like,
known
push the
by
button,
your.
make her laugh, push the button, make her laugh.
I know you're known by your like laugh. I think that's what you're known by is your cute little laugh.
Right. And don't be fake. I know with AI pushing everybody all around, and it's becoming harder to decipher what's real and what's not real, be genuine, be true to your heart. Don't be fake. Don't just say things so that you get people to like you. And then when they really have a conversation with you, all of that vomits out into their lap and they're like, that girl was fake.
Not you. And then like being real, like who you are is going to attract the people that are meant to be around you.
Right. Circle of
Like,
influence.
yes,
6 degrees separation.
exactly. So if you're being fake, then you're not going to be attracting the people that are meant to be around you. And I guess still, even if you're real, you're going to attract people that are maybe meant to be around you, but it could just be a season. They could be around you for a short time and then leave. Um,
Friends are not permanent.
mm-mm. And then
Relationships are, I've had some really long-term, I have a friend who I have known since I was 12.
wow.
She is the only one. She was my partner in crime when I was a kid. I can't tell you how many times, and I've mentioned this before, that the sheriff would bring us home in the middle of the night because her mom was a hippy dippy and was never home, and my mom would sit on the couch in the dark, waiting for me to go bye. And then as soon as I would say goodbye and shut and lock the door, she'd flick on the light, and I knew I was in trouble. Oh, I got the belt. I don't know how many times. But yes, I've known her a long time, since I was 12. And there are those relationships, and we ebb and flow. I've known her. I have another friend I've known, gosh, I want to say since my 20s, and she lives in Monaco most of the year and runs around on sailing ships. I know that that's not the right terminology, so don't choke me on that one. But everyone ebbs and flows. So friends come and go, and then you reconnect, and then you get through whatever it is, and then they bounce back off, and then new friends come in your life. So make sure you pick carefully who your circle of influence is. People who constantly hog the limelight, don't listen to what you say, have no respect for your feelings, say really awful things to you, probably not the best circle of influence.
To pull that weed and be like, out of here.
Right. I've gotten to the point now where I just won't put up with it. I'll let you run with it. You guys will see my post. I'll let you run really far, and then at some point I'll just yank back that lead, and it won't feel pleasant, and I'll watch. I'm
That's
not
like
I'm
with
here
my
to
dog.
I'm not here to fix your conflict. I'm here to watch you work it through. You're either going to do it or you're not, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world. So, and providing value in everything that you do. If you don't want to be in the cleaning industry because this is a temporary gig for you, then please step out and do what you got to do. If you're here temporarily because you're trying to make ends meet, I get it. It's a side thing. But don't sit here and do it long term and say, I can't find any clients. I can't do this. I'm like, well, I thought you said this was a side gig. So pick. Just pick. Don't straddle the fence. That's my mom tells me that all the time. Miller, you're straddling the fence.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I don't want to be mean, right?
Exactly.
And then
So,
what else have we got there, Kim?
I just feel like the whole thing for me is just, you talked about the value. I think we all want to feel valued, and
Mhm.
that's just so important because when we don't feel valued, it kind of brings like this almost overwhelming sadness to you, and you don't feel of worthy. So when you build those relationships, it's a two-way street. And I'm not going to go into details, but I had something happen to me this past weekend, and it really opened my eyes to this friendship. And I didn't feel valued. And so really know when you need to feel valued, because if you're not feeling valued, then that's something that you need to move that person along, that they're not welcome into your life. So treat others that way. Um, Shannon, you've read that book, 13 Habits of Exceptionally Likable People, right?
A long time ago. I probably have to reread it, but yeah, I remember reading it.
Well, my dad,
Been a while.
those of that are watching on YouTube and stuff in our channels, my dad gave this to me like when I was a teenager, like when it first came out, and like Shannon and I are having our old card punched again. But this was a very long time. And I remember my dad like giving this to me, and it's 13 Habits of Exceptionally Likable People. And it's like, I highly recommend you guys go and look into this because it's going to help you when you do go to network. I learned a lot through this, and I actually still keep this on by my desk, and I read it. It's great. Like they greet people by name, they smile, they balance passion and fun, they keep in touch, they're genuine, just what we talked about. They're real. So I recommend this. It's 13 Habits of Exceptionally Likable People. To keep that on hand.
It's been, God, I'm trying to remember. It's been years since I've read that book. That and Judy Blume and all that other stuff. You know me, trashy romance.
Yeah, I'm like, I've got all these like educational stuff. Mark's like, don't you ever just read for fun? I'm like, no.
I have a lot of education. I read a lot. I have a lot of educational books, but at night, if I'm up with a sick dog or a kid or whatever, trashy romance is it. I've read almost all of the Outlander series, and I'm starting on the Lord John part of the actual series. And then she has a couple of others, because she lives down in Scottsdale.
Oh,
One of these
wow.
days I'm gonna run into her at Flag. I know I will, but yeah, I love the whole story behind Jamie and Claire, even though they're totally codependent and cannot survive without one or another. But it's just fun to read in the middle of the night. So uh and when my old man, before he passed away, there were many nights where I was up with him, making sure he pottied outside and all that other stuff. But enough about me. I can just go on about books all the time. And I love to read. I just love all of the knowledge in the books. I love reading. And I'm thankful that I know how to read, because not everybody does. Following up with somebody is also really important. When you've networked, there should be some sort of protocol you have in place. So if you get someone's card and they say, hey, let's meet up with coffee, guess what? You should probably reach out and say, hey, I'm ready to meet you with a coffee. What do you got available? Right. Or
Yep.
sometimes you guys will see on my Facebook page, I'll have a weird low day where I'm not doing a lot. I'm like, hey, does anybody have time? Anyone local have any time to meet me for coffee? And we'll go over to usually Carlitos. I like supporting them. They're a small non-for-profit, not non-for-profit, but they're a small coffee shop that has they have regular food and they also have Mexican food, which I love all of it. So where are you gonna
Cool.
get a 1-2 combo like that, right? So yeah, follow up with them. And if they say no, 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 it's totally, I don't have it in my schedule, just stick it in your calendar, maybe 3 months down the road. Hey, I know we met at this marketing event. I have time. Would you like to meet for coffee? And if by the third time they say no, just say that, okay, well, if you ever need anything, let me
You
know.
did
And
your part. So you
right.
went out and did your part. And I'm like old school, so I don't know if you still do this, but sometimes I'll just still send out random cards
Mhm.
and like, hey, it was really wonderful meeting you. Like I've gotten their address and I'm like, thank you. Or I'll have their business address. And I just like sending cards because for me, it's like I go to my mailbox and I'm like, so I have this, don't laugh at me too hard, but I like literally do a money dance. So when I'm in my mailbox, so my mailbox, you guys, is like down the neighborhood. So it's not in front of our house. We have one of those what do they call like the group mailboxes? So when I go walk down to the mailbox, I'm like literally doing my money dance. I'm like, money, 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 gonna get my money. So like for me, when I go to the mailbox and you get a card in the mail, doesn't it just like make your day because it's not a bill? Or if you did get a bill, it counteracts the bill, like you got a card.
Right.
So even sending cards, you guys, like old school, can make all the difference in the world because everybody's so used to getting emails these days.
Right.
You're changing it up a bit.
And there is a service, I believe it's called Send Out Cards. I think there's still people that still do that. And I think it's phenomenal, or you could just do it the good old fashioned way. It just depends. I mean, Kim still, every time you order from Kim's product, you get a handwritten note in it. At some point, when she gets too big, she won't be able to do it. And then
Well,
there'll
I
be
could say this
little
week
rare
we're probably
Picassos, right?
those of you guys that have ordered like this past week and this week, you're not getting a huge drawing. Sorry, you guys. My son's graduating and I've got like a bazillion
Family
things.
coming in.
Family coming in, so you guys might not be getting my artiste skills this week, so I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, so no fancy cards this week. But yeah, stay connected, keep in touch with your network, the regular check-ins, so regular checking, keeping the attendance. So keep showing up. Don't do what I do and not show up for any of the ribbon cuttings.
And I can say from experience, and this has been frustrating for me, I run a really tight schedule. It's in blocks of time because drop off, pick up of the kids. If you agree, and I'm just saying this, if you agree to have coffee with somebody and you're supposed to be there at a certain time, do not show up 40 minutes late and then beg for forgiveness.
Mm-mm.
I literally, if you say you're going to meet me for coffee at 9 a.m., I'll wait till 9:15. And if I don't hear from you either way, I'll leave. I won't sit there and wait for you to decide, or I'll take that time for myself. And then when you show up late, I'm not going to have time to meet with you. I'm already on to something else. So be courteous of other people's time. If you have the propensity of running late for whatever reason, get your ass out of the house earlier so that you are on time, and get their phone number. I have a couple people who I've met with coffee. I don't have their phone number. And then I realized that I don't have their phone number. So we're back and forth in Messenger. I'm like, I really probably should get your phone number. And sometimes they want to give it out and sometimes they don't, because one of this people that I've met with works in politics. So I get that. I don't, but I just keep my fingers crossed every time we meet for coffee because I'm like, well, I don't have your phone number, so please make sure you show up. I understand, but just if you're gonna obligate yourself to a coffee, and then there is the what should you do? Who should pay? Right? Let's talk about this while we're here.
Yes.
Oftentimes, it used to be that I would pay for everything. I no longer offer to pay. We'll usually go Dutch unless I'm doing an actual event. Then I will pay up to a certain point, and after they'll usually let me know when I hit it's usually 125 bucks. Okay, so you've hit the 120 bucks. I'm like, all right, well, anybody after that is going to have to pay for their own. I've done that, or you can get a sponsorship if you're doing an event. That works too. But you don't have to pay for coffee. You can go Dutch. It's okay. It's not going to be the end of the world. Especially when we're all on tight budgets. You don't have to. And then what I found is sometimes specifically will say, okay, I'm buying coffee. I'm not buying your Cuban latte double shot espresso with blonde and whatever else you've got that's 15
Your $14 drink.
Right. So be courteous of other people's times and resources. If someone is offering you coffee, order coffee. Just don't order the $15 drink. I've had people do that. I'm like, dude.
That's
Oh,
not going to get you that's not going to build your relationship very well.
No, it's off-putting, it's inconsiderate, and it's selfish. So just learn with it's like going to someone's house, and this is another example, a little off the beaten path from what we're talking about. If you've ever had a cleaning tech in a house and they're an older couple and they have remember the height of sophistication, they would have hors d'oeuvres or snackies out. So they would leave the nuts or whatever out. And then you're like, well, this usually stopped all the cleaning techs in their tracks. They're like, yeah, I ate some of those chocolate covered espresso beans and some of those nuts. I'm like, did you ask permission? They're like, no. I'm like, that's considered theft. And on top of it, you don't know if that person washed their hands.
Oh, yeah,
Or
right.
they reached into the nuts and the espresso beans. So that prevented anybody from doing any more free troughs through the on-call espresso hors d'oeuvre, whatever. So just something to think about, because I just think in that way. I'm just one of those weirdos.
Yep.
And I think that we've pretty much
Yeah. So you guys just remember the key to effective networking, you guys, is just being authentic to them and to yourself, a willingness to give as much as you guys receive, and investing in your relationships. You'll see the benefits in your personal and professional life by investing in these relationships.
Definitely. And those people that you network with aren't going to necessarily be your clients. It's their clients that they know who are going to be like, hey, I'm looking for a cleaner. Do you know of anyone? They were like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I just met with Shannon. Would you like her card? Would you like her contact information? So that's just how it rolls, right?
Well, thank you guys for joining us today for Cleaning Business Life. We hope you guys found our discussion on networking valuable and just inspiring. If you guys enjoyed this episode, which we know you guys all did, don't lie, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Guys, we need some more reviews. So if you guys could take some time down, we love reviews and we love hearing from you. And don't forget to share our link to our Cleaning Business Life podcast. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. I will chat with you a little bit.
And we still are looking for sponsors. So if that's something that you want and you are in the industry, it has to be relatable. Like, I don't want the ace pin, whatever. I'm looking for something that's relatable to the cleaning industry. Please reach out. And we're happy to chat with you. Anyway, I shall see you in the next episode.
I'll see you in 15 minutes after I clean up messes.